Okay, now let's go to the tactics of Israel in this invasion. One, they're using white phosphorus. White phosphorus is a chemical weapon. For those of you who don't know, when it meets oxygen, and here's the funny thing about Earth, it's surrounded by oxygen, it produces a white smoke that then falls down on whoever's underneath it, that burns your skin. But it doesn't just stop at the skin. It keeps going on a lot of occasions until it hits bone. It causes second-degree and third-degree burns for sure. It is outlawed by the Geneva Conventions, but the clever folks in Israel and the United States, because we use it in Iraq, and Israel used it earlier in Lebanon, have come up with an exception. Oh, don't worry, we're not using it as a weapon. If we did, of course, that would be a war crime. Instead, we're using it as a smokescreen or illumination. Oh, you didn't have any other ways to light up the sky, and so you chose to use a poison gas instead. Yeah, I would go for a different way of going about that objective. That was the excuse we mainly used in Iraq. The Israelis are saying, no, it's just a smokescreen so our soldiers can come in. Well, your soldiers wouldn't want to come in because then their skin would be burned off. You see, it's a chemical weapon, outlawed by the Geneva Treaty of 1980. And by the way, this smokescreen is literally a smokescreen. There is no such exception. They forgot to include, hey, don't also use it as a smokescreen. They said, don't use it as a weapon. And they said, aha! Well, if we don't use it, this chemical weapon as a weapon, then we could use it anyway. No, you can't. It's a war crime either way. Now, you're especially not supposed to use it in civilian populations. You know why? Because when it falls, it burns anyone underneath it. So if there are kids or women or elderly, or just flat-out civilians, they could even be men, that are not part of Hamas. It's possible in a city, when you drop it on a city. They get burned. They get burned alive. And then we invaded Iraq because they had weapons of mass destruction? Because they had chemical weapons? Come on, man. The hypocrisy of America and Israel these days knows no bounds. No bounds whatsoever. Now, that's okay, though, because they're fighting terrorists. As we burn the civilians alive, we're the good guys, so that's allowed. It's collateral damage. Come on, we're just using it as a smokescreen. That's all. Oh, everybody underneath it happened to be burned alive? Well, what can you do? We were using it as a smokescreen. It's hideous. Now,